Turning now to delicious meals families across the Metro Detroit area can be planning to eat today for Easter. Kieran Hales, executive chef and managing partner with Cornman Farms, joins us today with a recipe for an Easter dinner to go. Good morning, Chef Kieran. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning, Jen. Thanks for having us.
So
I'm really glad to be able to share this.
Us as well. Tell me a little bit more about Cornman Farms.
So Cornman Farms is a 27-acre farm. It's a hop, skip, and a jump out of Dexter, probably about 10 minutes. And we do private events, weddings, and then we've had a huge success with our pie and mash shop and a lot of our retail things. So we've opened a retail store where we sell some of our pie and mash and our soups and different things. But yeah, a lot of different varied things. We get to grow our veggies and cook all of those things at the start for us, so kind of fun.
Now, we were talking during the break. You, of course, are from Britain, and that inspires a lot of your cooking. So what are we making today and why? Where does the inspiration come from?
So we're going to be making a ham and cheese pie. This actually nails back to all my beginnings in London when I was 13. It's a pie and mash shop, which is one of those traditional foods out of London. And so this is something I had when I moved to London and started as a chef at 13. And so really fun food, comfort food, kind of nostalgia for me. And so what we get going on first is we're going to saute some of our veggies. So we've got some onions, celery, going into some oil. We'll get those sauteed up. And this is a great way to use up all our leftover ham. So when you've all finished Easter, this is a way to kind of bring those things back in. Once we've got our onions and celery in there, we're going to add in our garlic and a huge healthy helping of rosemary and get that sauteed down. And so the smells instantly start hitting your kitchen. Then we're going to add ourselves a little bit of flour just to help bind everything together and cook that out. After that goes in there, a little tiny splash of our milk. And this recipe is going to be online for you guys to be able to follow along at home for Easter lunch. We're going to add our mustard. A good tablespoon of mustard goes in there. And you basically made this thick roux sauce. Once you got to this stage, we're almost done with that cooking step. So you can see kind of how quick this step can happen for us. We'll take our pot and just break it into a bowl for us. And we're going to add in some cooked potatoes, some cooked carrots. So those can be things that have left over from your Easter lunch. We'll fold those into this bowl. Then we're going to add some of our diced up ham. We're lucky out here at the farm. We've got a smokehouse from 1888. And so we cure and smoke our own hams. We got those in there, added some peas, and then some beautiful Irish cheddar and some Parmesan. We'll put that into the bowl, and then a good sprinkling of salt. And then we get to give this a really good mix for us. And we get to put this in one of our beautiful butter crust pie shells. And so this is probably the biggest difference from back home is we make them really tall and high. And the reason we do that is I love them to look a little bit like crowns. And so we're going to take that filling and place it right into the center of our mix and then crimp the top of our pie. And then these only take about 35 to 45 minutes in an oven to bake for us. So you fill this guy up all the way to the top. And then we're going to do a little
Chef,
crimp.
as you're continuing to cook there, I'm just so curious. You're making this look so easy. On a scale of 1 to 10, how challenging is this to make for like a beginner who is not a professional chef? Because you're making it look really, really easy.
I'd say the really nice, easy bits is making that filling. For us, the challenging bit's probably the pastry. And that's where we want to be on that temptation of not overworking our pastry. But what's a nice thing is there's some lovely pre-made pastry shells out there you can get if you didn't want to make your own. But that's the fun things, especially I've got a 6- and an 8-year-old kid at home, and so we like to make our pastries at home. And so making those, I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, this is probably like a 4, maybe a 5 with the pastry shell in there. But you've got a really nice, beautiful crimped pie shell. This guy goes in the oven for 45 minutes, and then we get the magic of TV of one that we've got prepared earlier, and she'll pop right out like that. And once we're all done, and you cut this guy open, you get the enjoyment of Easter pie all the way through the day. And you've got all those beautiful colors that we've got in the pie for us. Really beautiful place. So for us, it's that nostalgia, comfort food, all those rich cheddar cheeses and vegetables in there. It's a nice way to spend the Easter in this, you know, it's warm, but it's still a little chilly out there. Warm the cockles a little bit.
Chef, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We, of course, will post this recipe on our website, WXYZ.com. Looks delicious. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be right back after the break.
Thank you.